All right, y'all. So today we are at the Grand Island Mansion for a wedding expo open house question mark, something like that. I think they're going to set up, like, I saw the ceremony space is set up, and I think they're just gonna show what your wedding could look like if you booked it here. So I'm very curious to see what sort of decor they have. And we also found the best way to get here, which the first time we came here, girl, it was rough. And now we have figured it out. So let's go see what they have. If you are getting married, you need to tour this place because it is amazing. Oh my gosh. I do have to say that it is fairly expensive, but a lot of the wedding venues out there are expensive as well. So I don't know. I think it's something to consider if you think that this place is beautiful and it fits what you have in mind. Like, definitely go check them out. I was so mind blown by this place. I had no idea that it existed. So when we walked in, I was like, oh my God, what is this? It felt like a European destination Pinterest wedding, but in California, and I had no idea it existed. So truly, I was mind blown. So basically, I just showed what the aisle would look like. You can also get married on the other side. It's more of a preference and like weather and time of day. But I think the section with the pillars is so beautiful and romantic. And this venue is huge, y'all. Like, oh my goodness, there are so many different rooms. So I'm gonna take you to the outside first. So basically, if you have a larger wedding, your guest after the ceremony will walk down this side, which is basically like a little patio section. Um, and they walk into what is called the tent. So you walk through here and you can envision like servers kind of handing out drinks, and you walk out to this part of the venue. And here is where your happy hour or your cocktail hour would take place. There would be little food, like appetizers and cocktails, and then this is the tent. So this is where the actual reception would take place, and you can choose to have all the curtains open or closed, depending on how you prefer the day of to go. So they are under new management, which means they have a bunch of new partners who do things like the tablescapes and draping and floral, and they also just recently got their liquor license. So this is all things that they didn't have. I think in the early part of this year, they must have just gotten it a few months ago, because we had no idea that they had all of this stuff. And this is really great because if you've been touring venues, you know that most of them have a liquor license or some sort of liquor package, whereas before the Grand Island Mansion did not. And that meant that the bride and groom would have to get a license and bring in their own alcohol. So that's amazing. They also now have a DJ and sparklers and Indian food. So a lot of new additions that they were showcasing, which was really great for us to see. And then we went inside. So we've actually been to the Grand Island Mansion for their brunch buffet. We wanted to see what their food tasted like and just kind of get a better idea of this venue because we were considering it. So they usually hold the brunch inside, and that previous room is where they would serve all the food. And then in here, you can get a seat. So if you're considering this venue, I definitely encourage you to check out their brunch buffet. And this is a space where you can hold your reception as well. I would say if you have like 70 guests or less, the indoor space right here is really beautiful as well. And I can definitely see people getting married here. Then we went downstairs. So downstairs, they also have a ballroom where you can also hold your reception. So the ballroom is fairly big. I think it holds at least 100 people, if I'm not mistaken. They were also doing some tours while we were there. And this would be the bar if you were to do the ballroom room, I guess, which is really stunning. Honestly, I think every room in this mansion is so cool. And then if you walk deeper, there is a pool room, where so if you book the mansion for your wedding, they let you access it 2 hours before, which honestly I think is very tight for a wedding, but usually groomsmen are already ready to go, so they can hang out in here, play some games, have some drinks. They also have a little bowling alley. The bowling alley doesn't actually work, but it is cool for like photos if you wanted to do groomsmen photos in here. I think that's really cool as well. And then they also have a movie theater, which I think is so cool. So I believe if you rent out the mansion, all of these rooms are available to you throughout the wedding party as well. So if somebody just kind of wants to step away from the party, they should be able to come in here, or if like it's cold outside, they can just come and chill in here. I believe. Don't quote me on that. I would ask them to confirm. There's also these rooms where the bridesmaids and bride can choose to get ready. Again, you only get to access it 2 hours before, or there's a fee that you can pay to access it a few hours earlier. However, that just depends on if they're booked out or not. So, there's a lot of like wonky details that I think you should discuss with them if you're interested. But I think all those rooms are really cool for getting all the girls together. Something that I love, because y'all know I love my coffee, is that they also have this coffee um, corner. What could you call it? Like a little coffee shop, I guess. So you can actually rent out a barista and have coffee served during the reception, which I thought was so cool. So lots of little like quirky details that I think is really cool. And then we went upstairs to check out the rooms. So basically, if you rent out the mansion, you can also rent out all the rooms. I believe they have 13 rooms, and you can have your bridal party stay the night there, which I think is really cool because the party goes until 11 p.m. basically, and then you can have an after party with the people who are staying in the mansion, and you can go as late as you want up there, and they serve pizza and more drinks upstairs if that's what you prefer to do. So, wanted to see what the rooms were looking like. Most of them have like a queen size bed or a king size bed. Some of them have multiple beds per room, and all of them have really cool bathrooms. And oh my gosh, I mean, it's a mansion, you guys. I thought it was just so cool. This bathtub, girl, I thought it was beautiful. Like, can you imagine staying there? And this is the room where the after party would be held. So, again, just so many details that I thought were really, really cool. And yes, it is an expensive venue, but once you start comparing it to all the others, I mean, it's just a stunning venue, honestly. So I encourage you to check it out and see if this could work for you, because it really is a cool venue.